The Dunu Dk3001 Bd. The Dunu Brain Dance. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a sample sent out to me by Dunu. This review is a little bit later than other ones, partially due to the fact that I was waiting on a 2-pin connector. This is a single dynamic driver 4BA 4 microplanar IEM. Let's start by talking about the build quality of this product. Now, the shell of the Brain Dance is pretty phenomenal. It's white, which may not be for everybody, but again, this is the 2-pin cable connector version, so all opinions will be based on that. The nozzle is nice and metallic. It holds ear tips very well, has a filter on the end. There's a nice curvature to this IEM, so it fits in ear really well. The faceplate of this is also nice, kind of a theme punk style faceplate. And all in all, I like this faceplate. Again, has all the features that I would want in IEM. It is a little bit thicker than some, but overall, I just find this to be exceptional. It's a flat 2-pin cable connector with these beautiful contours that you can see here. And just, overall, really solid pick with, with a great feature set for a shell. Another minor thing that I like about this is that the right earphone does have a red connector, so it's easier to tell what it is. It has a great accessory kit with lots of tips, with a shirt connector, with a 6.3 adapter, and lots of different things to get with IEM booties to boot. Now, it comes with Dunu's new style cables, which are pretty easy to terminal swap. You'll see me kind of do this on the fly, but you just kind of unscrew it, you pull it out. You do have to get this lined up, which can be a little bit of a pain to do, but when you get that lined up, it just takes a few seconds, and then you screw it back on, and it's easy to do. This is a nice terminal connector. It's really easy to do. It comes with a nice little cable tie that's leather and nice build quality. It has a great quality Y split, which is fantastic. It has a great chin slider, which is functional and stays in place. The tops of the cables are just really nice and premium feeling. There is a right and left connector on this that are faint. You can kind of see in this light, but they're there. They're a little bit more hard to see, but you can tell, and it's nice to have connectors. These are recessed 2-pin cable connectors, which means you can use this cable on pretty much any IEM that you want that's 2-pin, which is an advantage. The case is really beautiful. It feels leather. It has a very nice interior. Like, the interior just feels like real leather, and it's super nice. It looks and feels premium. It has a magnetic lock that we'll show you in a second. There we go. And it just feels great cinching it. And I can't say enough great things about this case. Now, again, the white may not be for everybody. My only complaint that maybe they could do a black colorway of the Brain Dance, or maybe like a green and black or something fun like that. But overall, it's great. The sonic profile of this is really nice. It's like a slight U with a lot of details up top. It has great vocals, and great detail, and just has a really nice, flat, even sonic signature without being boring or too flat. I like how it sounds, and it has a lot of great features about it. I want to get into some graphs, and I also want to talk about some of the other features of this, and then we'll give a conclusion. Okay, let's look at the graph of the Dunu Dk3001 Brain Dance. Now, you'll notice it does have a nice amount of treble, not super overt, a nice amount of bass, kind of a nice, flat, neutral tune. Let's look at a few other graphs, and then we'll kind of go from there. Now, I wanted to compare first to the other Dunu IEMs. Now, you notice the Brain Dance does have a little bit less bass than, say, the Dunu Da Vinci and the Mirai, which, I thought were good sets in their own rights. The Dunu Brain Dance has a lot more energy up top, which I think helps it sound good. Has great extension for my ears. It has kind of a little bit more detail from the 4 to 6K, but I've never had it be fatiguing or off. And overall, it's just a nice, even flat kilter. I wanted to show these graphs that even though all the graphs are very similar, I really think the Brain Dance is the best of the Dunu IEMs that I've heard to date. Now, another comparison a lot of people have made is that this is a lot like the Pilgrim. I like the Pilgrim. I think the Pilgrim didn't have this extension. I think it did have kind of a nice full bass, but I think the Brain Dance does some things a little bit better. I could see why people would like the Pilgrim, and I do find it a competitive set. But at the same time, there's certain things about the Brain Dance and just the overall feeling. Like, graphs tell you a great story, but they don't tell you everything. And there's something about this Dunu DK Brain Dance that's really quite phenomenal. One thing this reminds me a little bit of is the Kiwi Ears 4. Now, the Kiwi Ears 4 is a great set. It does have a little bit more flat, even mids with a little bit less of a bass tuck, which some people are going to like. I mean, I could see people liking the Kiwi Ears 4 as a cheaper set. I personally prefer the Dunu Brain Dance a little bit more. But I do see why. I found the Kiwi Ears 4 to be a little bit bright, a little bit too energetic, but that's just kind of my take on it from my impression. Still, it's a really good value. If you're looking for a value, the Kiwi Ears 4 gives you a similar sonic profile. With that's you know, a little bit cheaper, but again, the Brain Dance for me it's just a phenomenal set, and it does a lot of things better. One thing to compare this to, like this, is the Studio 4. Now, the Studio 4 is not packaged as well. It's not nearly as nice of a set, but it does provide a similar sonic profile. With, again, it doesn't have that correct beautiful sound and the extension on the treble that the Brain Dance does, but it's also a very competitive set at this price. Another one I wanted to show is just like this tucked bass, and this is kind of the problem with this set, and that it kind of has the tucked bass of like the Critical Red. Now, what I did on the Critical Red is we added an impedance adapter, and I'll give a shout out to fellow YouTuber and Headfire reviewer Make It Wayne. Told me that you can add an impedance adapter. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, if I had to rank this guy up, it would be a really solid S tier IEM, which is really strong for the price. You know, really good bass. It's like, that's kind of the fault with it. It doesn't have I want a little bit more bass. Its upper mids are very strong. Its highs are darn near perfect, and they are exceptional. It images very well. It doesn't have a ton of note weight, but it has a great soundstage and a great hi-fi presentation about it. It's overall a very solid priced IEM for what it is. But see, here's the thing about the Dunu Brain Dance. When you add an impedance adapter, it goes from a nice neutral set to a really fun bassy set. And it can really set the mood going from kind of almost a monitor-like experience to a really almost like a bass cannon. And I think it's really quite exceptional when you hit this impedance adapter change. I used an 80 ohm. I found that's pretty much really where diminishing returns happened. I do have a 220 ohm adapter, and so I measured those together. I also measured the 220 ohm adapter, and they're all pretty much the same. So we're just going to kind of call it right here at the 80 ohm adapter. Now, what does this guy look like? I mean, it has just a little bit more bass, and I wanted to show this as like the extension here in the Afu Performer 7. It reminds me a little bit of that, but like in the Dunu, it just, with the impedance adapter, it gives it so much more bass. The upper mids are a little bit more clean, but just overall, it's just a really fantastic presentation with this, and it really does some things really well. I'm really impressed with this IEM of how it sounds, and it's quite exceptional. If we look at this, what this kind of reminds me of, this curve itself reminds me a lot of the Fat Frequency Deuce. Now, the Deuce is a really good set. But you'll notice the extension up here is better on the Dunu. You'll notice that the upper mids are a little bit more cold from the fat frequency. Now I like the fat frequency; it's a good set, but its upper mids are a little bit too energetic at times, which can come across as shouty, or too kind of ethereal, which can be really kind of cool, but it can be a little bit much for people. It kind of adds to the charm of the Deuce. But to me, the Dunu Braindance is just a better IM despite its price. But I could see people liking the Deuce even better because it comes in this stock format, because it's a lot cheaper. Depending on what your needs, it could be a lot better. Another one I wanted to show is the High Senior Mega 5 EST. Now, I do have a Mega 5 EST base, but what you'll notice is that like the High Senior itself is just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of okay. It's a little bit too sparkly and airy, but if you compare it to the Mega 5 EST base, like get rid of this one, you'll notice they both kind of have that really nice bass, and even the Dunu Dk3001 has some really nice bass boost. I'm going to try to get some more impedance adapters and measure them. We might be able to kind of lower this down just a little bit. But it's just a really nice amount of bass, and it's just really thumpy, and it's an impressive set. So what I've done now is I've taken and I've made a copy of my file, which you can, and you guys can. You can just hit this file. Let's move this over. If you hit this, copy of this spreadsheet, you can go and make a copy for yourself and mess around with this spreadsheet and do what you will with it. But if we look at this sheet, the Dunu with the adapter, like for me, the bass gets really, it's just awesome with that. And it really kind of chucks this into this kind of like higher division level S tier IEM. And it just makes it an even better set. And it's just a fantastic set. It is. So the Dunu Braindance is one of the better packaged IEMs that I've seen come out this year. If you have the impedance adapters, which are fairly cheap on AliExpress or even on Amazon, you can really kind of make this go from a nice, even kiltered neutral set with great extension to all of a sudden a really fantastic bassy set. Now, further modifications on other cheaper IEMs could be done with EQ, and that's not too hard to do. To use SquidLink into EQ to a different profile to give your current IEMs that feeling. But finding really fantastic treble is really hard to do. And so this IEM I think would be a great IEM to EQ because I personally like the design and think it's comfortable, and it has great treble extension, and that's again a hard thing to find in the market. For these reasons, I think this is a really fantastic set. And I think if you're in the market for a set for a $500 to $1,000 IEM, this could be the one. And I think this could be one of those IEMs that people might want to consider even if they do have more expensive sets, because it has such great build quality and is so pristine. Thanks for watching my video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys have a great day. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here.
Go! Go!
Go.
Go on with you!